Hello, hello. I've got my coffee. I've got my draft going. We're about to fire off an 8-4 in Cons of Tarkir. And I don't really have anything going into this. I really want to play Abzan if I can. I'll take any excuse to force Abzan. Alright, we're starting up right now. Well, Hardened Scales is not really something I want to force Abzan with. This whole pack is kind of meh. I think the best Abzan card would be Rush of Battle, probably, which isn't that great. Not as a first pick. I think the most powerful card here is Hordling Outburst. Quiet Contemplation has its own deck. It's good in its own deck. The most well-rounded card is probably Sultai Scavenger. Which is... oh, there's also Woolly Loxodon. In any case, I think I just want to take the Hordling Outburst. It has the most upside. Red is just a really good color if it's open, because you get Arrow Storms and Trumpet Blasts, and they all go together pretty well. Not like the blue cards. A lot of the blue cards don't go together well. The red cards pretty much work all together. The black cards also. There's a lot of bad black cards. The Mind Rot, the Rotting Mastodon. But I like Hordling Outburst. Molting Snakeskin. I will take Hordling Outburst. And we go into, there's a Mardu Uncommon. Looks like someone took the rare. I think the strongest card here is actually Warden of the Eye, which I'm eyeballing. There's also an Anok Bondkin, which would go with like the Winnie thing that we could do with the Hordling Outburst. Where's my little preview card? I don't need that. Oh god. Everything disappeared. Huh. I think I want Warden of the Eye. Oh, it does actually go with our first pick, so I like that too. Might be able to... I'm not expecting to wheel the Wind card Crag, but I would like to. I mean, I'm just going to go with the best card here, which is Warden of the Eye. Also very good in its deck. And passing by a Anok Bondkin, Mardu Rough Rider. I'm trying to remember if we passed any good blue cards in the last pack, and I don't think so. I think there just wasn't any blue in that pack. There's a Warshrieker here, which would go well with our first few cards. I think I just want that. I don't really love Warshrieker that much, but it's certainly serviceable in any deck that wants to attack. The other pick here is Glacial Stalker, which is a good card. Best card overall. Maybe the Soothsayer. The Soothsayer is a good card that wheels way more often than it should. Just because no one likes playing Sultai, and there's a lot of Sultai cards that are better than Soothsayer, even though it is good. Like, I think there's a lot of decks that would rather take the Archer's Parapet than Soothsayer. So I'm going to take the Mardu Warshrieker, wheeling... I don't think we're going to wheel anything good out here, except for maybe a Bloodfire Mentor. We could get the student back. I would like to get the student back. Let's see. There's some good Sultai cards here. Not good, just, you know, decent. If I was Sultai, I would be happy to pick either of these. And then there's also a Crippling Chill, which I'm looking at first, and a Summit Prowler. I think I want the Chill. Chill, or Summit Brawler. Seems fine to me. Chill being a card that I think is a little bit overrated, but if you're attacking, it's great. If you're trying to play a long game, it doesn't... its effect is less pronounced in any deck that's trying to play the long game. Because there's a lot of games where you just cast this and tap down the guy, and it's going to be tapped for the rest of the game. Second Chill is nice. I like that. The other card that we might want is Active Treason, but those are easy to pick up. Another Sultai rare. Multiple Chills. I mean, Chill isn't the best blue common. There's also Mystic, and there's also Jeskai Wind Scout, so getting two in a row doesn't automatically imply that blue is open. As opposed to this coming by, which is probably that Sultai is open. And green in general, there's 4 green cards in this pack, 5 including the Blossoming Sands. So I think we should look out for a plan to go Teamer. And as I say that, there's a Thornwood Falls. I think I want the Treasure Cruise here just because we have a lot of ways to put cards in the yard. I'm not put cards in the yard, but we have cards that go to the graveyard, so Treasure Cruise becomes a little bit better. And this is the power of this card in the Eternal formats, is that you play it with a bunch of cantrips. And I do have cantrips, which are usually not around in limited formats. Not anymore. It's hard to find cantrips in recent sets. I think there's a Quicken, was like the only card that would call it good cantrip. See, so now we have like some cards that look better in this kind of Teamer deck, like Roar the Challenge. It's either Trumpet Blast or Tormenting Voice, or Alpine Grizzly, or Roar the Challenge. This is a lot of choices for, what is this, 7th pick? I think I want the Grizzly. It's a tough choice. Let's go with the rest of our cards. Like Chill, or Grizzly into Chill is just super nice. I love it. We have Goblin Slide. Is this a Goblin Slide deck? Am I actually playing a Goblin Slide deck? I mean, we're almost there. What I would like is like a couple Leaping Masters or a War Name Aspirant. 2 drops is what I should say. I just want 2 drops. But we're on our way to make a good Goblin Slide deck, so I'm going to take it. And the Quiet Contemplation comes back around. Ah, I don't want to make a Goblin Slide deck. I don't want to do it. But I will, if you just hand it to me. You should note that we haven't seen any good white cards. Saltroad Patrol isn't what I'd consider a good card. When I say good, I mean something that you might want to take in the first 5 or so picks. I don't want to take Saltroad Patrol in the first 5 picks. So I will take the Quiet Contemplation, knowing that we have nothing under 3 mana right now. Fate is good in this kind of deck. Do I take the... It's interesting that the Glacial Stalker wheeled. I think I just want to take it just to cut off blue. Because I do think Bloodfire Mentor is better in our deck. But I think Glacial Stalker would be a signal that blue is open. Man, this wheeling around is crazy. Should note that this is a deck that can play banners without, killing itself. I need 2 drops though. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The 3 colors that we are not. It's a tough choice. I mean, if we could stall to bring it out, I would feel a lot better, but there's no indication we can do that. The main thing that makes me want to take it is there's nothing else in the pack except for Alpine Grizzly, which is not even on color for us. So I think I'll just take it as a hedge. I mean, it's... I won't lie, I feel dumb taking it. But there's nothing else except for Defiant Strike. I could take Defiant Strike. Do I take Defiant Strike? It feels so freaking dumb. I'm never going to see any Abzan cards. That's the problem. I'm never going to see them. I can take Wind Scout or I take Ringlow. Wind Scout is better. But we have so many 3s already that it makes me nervous. We're just going to move the Alpine Grizzly. Oh, there's also Bondkin. We could put Bondkin on too. But I don't want my 2 drops to be off color. I mean, the point of 2 drops, I can play them early so I don't get run over by morphs and bears and stuff, but if it's off color, there's no guarantee I can actually play it early, so why bother? I mean, I'm more likely to play a Wind Scout before my Bondkin if I don't have any white mana. I can just take the land. Boring pack. Here's a Savage Punch that would have gone nice with a Grizzly. How much more green would I have to see to justify taking a Savage Punch here? I mean, at this point I'd rather be white. And to be fair, I haven't seen any real Jeskai cards either. Is it too late to take Savage Punch? I can still get a bunch of good green in the last pack. Make it happen. And I cut these 2 white cards. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Smite is okay. Drift is okay. But taking Smite is like admitting that we don't want to play green. I remember at the beginning saying that we want to be an aggressive deck because we have chills. Now we're going to take Smite, which is like predominantly a defensive card. But there's nothing aggressive in this pack. I mean, my choice is made up for me. Kieran is okay. Kieran is fine. It's either that or Tormenting Voice. Tormenting Voice does go well with what we have. Especially since it gives us something to do on turn 2, which we do not have. We don't have anything to do on turn 2. I think we can wield a Cranial Archive that we do want in our deck. Yeah, I think I'm okay with taking Tormenting Voice here. I can get so many of these. I'll take it. Third Chill or a Bloodfire Expert? Creature count is 5 right now. We have 5 creatures. We have 5 creatures. That's insane. That's so dumb. How about... No, I can't even do it. Bellstrike comes in here. I don't like how Bellstrike stays on the battlefield because I'd rather have it go to the graveyard for Treasure Cruise or bring it back with the Warren of the Eye, but... Let's be clear, I don't like this card. But the alternative is like Snowhorn Rider. Kieran coming in over Smite the Monstrous. I don't think we want 2 Smites. There are a lot of decks where Smite isn't that good. Stroke is bad. Siegecraft is bad. Everything in this pack is bad. Banner that doesn't give us the colors that we actually want. I don't like where this deck is going at all. How good would Alter the Bird be here? Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So if I get them to mill 23 cards with this, it's pretty good. It does work with Goblin Sled, which is really, really funny. I'm gonna talk with Bellstrike. Yeah, just taking more bad blue cards. Alright, this time we're going to take a Bloodfire Mentor. There's a way we're going to play 3 strokes in any deck. And take solace in knowing that the rest of these packs aren't very good. We didn't even get back the Cranial Extraction. I wanted that Cranial Extraction. So let's make some cuts. I don't want this card. Oh, alright. We have a Pearl-like agent. We have a chance. We have a way to win. Thank God. We can actually... Oh my God, this pack is so much good stuff for us. We could probably wheel back the Saltwater Cliffs. And it has prowess. I'm gonna try to bring up that preview thing. There we go. All right. So we're going to take this over a pack that we would just want everything in. High Spire Mantis is good and on color. I like it. I wish it costed 2 mana. I can say that about any 4-drop. I wish this 4-drop costed 2 mana. That'd just be nice, wouldn't it? God. Aerostorm. We're almost like just giving up on any 2-drops at this point. No, we have no fixing either. No fixing. Just Aerostorm it. Yeah, let's see what happens if we just cut the white completely. We have 19 playables. It could work. So we take Mystic here over another Aerostorm. First Mystic. I think this card does get worse the more that you have of it. The first one's excellent, second one's good, third one's bad. Also, it's a creature, and we need creatures. Ah, oh, so happy to see this Master of the Way. He finally comes in the same pack as Fixing. I mean, if we're straight 2-color, then we don't really need the Saltwater Cliffs. Yeah, we'll just take the Leaping Master. Ugh, it feels bad. I feel terrible. Alright, there is a little bit of white fixing now. So you're saying there's a chance. Sweet. Man, look at this. This is that really, really deep pack that we opened up. Alright, so we have 22 playables right here that are, I mean, not, I don't really like the Skullkin. Everything else is okay. So I think I just want the Saltwater Cliffs. Ooh. I don't know. Cliffs, cliffs, cliffs. Yeah, I'll take the cliffs. Prowler just to have a body. I mean, it's a good body on turn 4. Hey, look, a 2-drop. This actually goes really well in our deck. I should have, like, paid more attention to it when I first saw it. Because playing this and then playing like Whirling Outburst or Goblin's Ladder, Quiet Contemplation, those are all... Jesus. It's nuts. I mean, we're clearly in the correct colors. But our colors are bad. I mean, this is a deck that could actually want a Disdainful Stroke. I'm actually surprised we didn't see any green in the last pack. Considering we did see just a bunch of green stuff come by us. And I think at this point I do want the Warden of the Eye and the High Spire Mantis, since we do have the fixing for it now. Taking out, I mean, these cards are still good. Like, let's see, let's take out the Mentor. It can be in the sideboard. Do I still want stuff like Defiant Strike, though? I mean, it's definitely good in this kind of deck. I think I like it over Singing Bell Strike. I don't like Singing Bell Strike. I really don't like it. I mean, with Quiet Contemplation, Crippling Chill actually becomes a liability. Since I tap out their board with like a Quiet Contemplation, they can still untap stuff, even though they have... I've got them completely locked down. They can still untap and block me. So we need to make 2 cuts at this point. Got 12 creatures. We don't want to go below 12 creatures, so we don't want to cut a creature. Cut Tormenting Voice. Tormenting Voice is good in this kind of deck. I mean, Hordeling Outburst is also a creature. Goblin Slide is effectively a creature. So maybe it's the Bloodfire Expert that comes out. Do we have any ferocious stuff that goes with it? Not really. Didn't I just say I don't want to cut creatures? I don't want to cut Cruise, even though Cruise isn't very good with Warden of the Eye. I mean, what's the game plan here? I just... maybe the War Shrieker comes out. Another card I said I wouldn't take out. Another creature I said I wouldn't take out. I think a Defiant Strike comes out. It's a cantrip. I like Defiant Strike as a card, but every time I need to make a cut, it always comes out just because it doesn't do enough. It cycles. That's all it's got going for it. It's like, it's never terrible if you can cast it. That's what it's got going for it. It's never going to be the worst thing in the world. And then we want to cut 1 more. The thing is, with the Pearl Lake Ancient in the deck, I shouldn't be in a rush to just end the game. I think the Weave Fate comes out. We have a lot of good stuff already. It could definitely come back in if we're playing a longer matchup. It feels weird to take out a Weave Fate instead of Tormenting Voice, though. Alright, I think this is okay. I like all these cards. Actually, I don't like War Shrieker, but he's staying in there. Is there anything I can morph with War Shrieker? There's not much. I can't even trigger him. He's bad. He's really bad here. I don't like you, War Shrieker. Let's bring in the removal. It's our only removal spell except for the burn. I like this more. It's only got 11 creatures, which is awkward, but what do you want from me? All we have to do is land Pearl Lake Ancient. We win, right? Where's the land? That basics. 3 planes would give us 5 white sources, which is the bare minimum. That's okay. Then we have 8 red sources, 8 blue sources. I don't like those numbers. 8, 8, 5. I think the mountains do have to go up to 9 sources just because we have too much double red. I'd rather play 10 if anything. And the blue... The problem with the blue is that we want to keep blue mana up for Crippling Shell and things like this. Seven blue sources. The thing is with the blue is that none of it is actually super dependent on casting early. Like Jeskai Elder I want to cast early. The Wind Scout I can probably cast something else on turn 3. And so I like this. I'm going to submit it. And I'll be right back.